Well, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. This is Recovery Revolution. Idea of this unanonymous group is we record this. Our conversation is powerful in our peer groups. This is completely unanonymous because we are just a peer group. You know, we don't have any stipulations on what we do. So we're recording it in order to put it out there and hopefully affect change in other people. So that's the unanonymous part of this. Last week we talked about regression in recovery. That's a weird idea. It's a flip side idea. Our first week was progression in recovery. Then the idea of progressing is to again regress and change the things inside us that led us to our downfall, and to needing recovery in the first place. Um, this week's idea is rejection. Another flip side idea, meaning rejection is usually something you think of as negative. Um, we are wanting to take and flip these ideas in order to look at things in a more positive light. Now, there are certain things we don't want to look at in a positive light, but when it comes to rejection and recovery, we need to reject things inside us that are leading us back to our pain, back to our past and to our failures. So, the idea of the rejection week is cleaning out our closet, so restoring our mind, getting rid of the things that no longer serve purpose for us. Um, and with that, our actual idea that we're going to discuss tonight is about authenticity and self acceptance. And to accept ourselves, it takes courage, and we have to look at this in the right frame of mind. So it starts completely inside us. So the idea of cleaning out our closet again is um, removing the things inside us that no longer serve us, that led us to our path in recovery. And this is my favorite part because we get to share Angel's theme song, and we're just going to get into it.
What are people gonna think? That I'm crazy? I'm weird? Am I even gonna be able to accomplish? I don't listen to the voices in my head. I got dreams so big, I be making it bread. I ain't trying to let my life fall stress. I let the universe guide me, put it to the test. I came a long way, baby. People see me now, still saying I'm crazy. 20 million, baby, whatever it takes, just know I don't hold back.
Before we were talking about the perfectionism, the imposter syndrome, we're worried about what others think, measuring, and then we went into the measuring up and being enough, self-acceptance, mean letting go of the idea that you need fixing or to deserve love, trust, or belonging, giving yourself grace. I know for myself, like first coming into recovery, I was so worried about, what is everybody going to think about me? Or they, or even in the dating scene, like, oh, I have this bad past, about everything. So, like, now after everything, like being true to myself, I'm like so much more happier and like not trying to fit in the mold of what society says and actually being myself. And I can feel like the light, gleaming out, and like people actually want to be around me and talk to me. And it's crazy where I used to think like, oh, I'm not good enough because I'm an addict or this or that. So, being true to yourself is like very important. We need to make sure we believe that in ourselves as well.
With us doing this, Angel, we're getting a lot of feedback from something in the background. But as far as even just doing this, trying to you know, put this together and us feeling like we're inadequate to do this because it's all fresh and it's all new to us. And but it's just taking a chance. And even Joe, we haven't heard his whole story, and we will here in a few weeks. But he's finding purpose and doing something, and it takes that making that first step to do something and finding our purpose. But that's how we accept ourselves first. That's kind of the key to it.
Oh yeah, it's like they say you can't love anybody else until you love yourself, and that's very true.
Um, You said, what does being authentic in recovery mean to you? Something that I'm learning from like my work situation, like being at work, is it's really easy to inherit the attitudes of the people that you surround yourself with. There's a lot of negativity. Like I work in the trades and everyone's miserable. And I just like, I'm not, you know what I mean? So like, I think that what you say to yourself is more important than anything that anyone could ever say to you. So like, if you're talking about, Dan, what you're saying, like taking a chance, you have to, you have to believe in yourself. You got to believe it, right? Like, and even if you don't, so like when I first came into recovery, I was so beat up that I could not even look at myself in the mirror and say anything nice to myself. And so something that I learned about like the neural pathways and how we damage them through drug use and alcoholism, you know, you can rewire those. So like something that I did when I got out of treatment and went into sober living, it takes 28 days to create a new habit. So I'm right-handed. So I brush my teeth every day with my left hand. I did this for 1 month. I would take 25 exaggerated breaths in through my nose and out through my mouth. And then I would look at myself in the mirror and say 10 nice things to myself. And probably for the first 2.5 weeks, I could not hold my gaze. I could not look at my own eyes when I was saying these things because I didn't believe them. But what happens is it goes past your frontal and it goes into your subconscious and it just plants a seed. And then it becomes easier and easier and easier. So I just wanted to add that because I think that's important.
Yeah.
Love that. I've actually been trying to do the left hand as well, trying to like do that. And then I have like positive affirmations I have taped to like my mirror in my bathroom. So I love that you're doing that as well. And it's great to try to work both sides of your brain just for that too.
Sure. Oh, that's awesome. And I'll throw in there too for anybody that came in a little bit later than Joe. This is actually somebody Amanda told us about. It's her little cousin. I watched him on that Get a Grip podcast we discussed in group last week. And the kid's got a great story. I mean, Amanda does too. So
Mhm.
really both their stories are great on there. So we've connected with him. We're hoping the first interview part of this will be with him. The first interview part of our group here. So anyway, if you jumped in late, I know Jason, you might not know what we're talking about, and Angie, maybe not you either. So I want to throw that in there.
Sorry, I was raising my hand. I didn't realize my video was off and I felt like a dumbass. So I got something to say about authenticity. Can you still hear me? Because I did a
Yeah,
screen flip.
yeah.
Okay. So I think that being authentic isn't about not turning yourself into something you're not, but rather finding healthy channels for what you are. Like rather than denying your more maladaptive qualities, finding
Mm.
ways to channel them into things that serve growth and allow you to stay more open and loving. And in a minute, I saw a really good quote about regression pertaining to the last
Nice.
week's thing, but also there was, I know. The what Joey was talking about with the, trying to learn self-love and all that shit. For me, like, I realized that the more I try to convince my mind of something, the more it reinforces that I do not already believe that thing, because if I
Mm.
believed it, I wouldn't need to convince myself of it. So, how I learned self love was instead of trying to tell myself things that I didn't believe, I started making self loving actions, like doing shit that like self care shit, but not like the woo woo, I'm gonna go take a bubble bath self care shit, but like setting healthy. I mean, I do that too, only like 6 hours, but I do I do shit that will set me up for growth later, like setting healthy boundaries with people that I
Mm.
know are not good for me, or leaving situations that I don't feel are healthy for me that I'm not growing in, or trying to educate myself. Like I'll sit there and ask myself now, if I loved myself, what would I do in this situation? And then whatever the first answer that comes to me is, I follow that. And it has helped me to trust myself more and trust my judgment more. And it's because, thought follows action, follows emotion, follows thought. It's all a big cycle. So you don't always have to interrupt the thought side or the emotional side. Sometimes you can interrupt a negative self view through the action side also, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's another cool idea about like me and Angel coming together too, is we kind of have different views on how we see things, and it's really cool too to see different perspectives and see kind of how people view life, so we can apply the things to what we're doing that we need to do. Um, yeah.
One
I
of the
love
biggest, oh, sorry,
that. Go ahead.
one of the biggest things I've realized is that almost every self-loving act you're going to do is going to prioritize long-term gain over short-term enjoyment. So that's like for me been a really important thing to learn. Like,
Can you say
yeah.
that one more time?
Oh, I said one of the most important things that I've recognized about self-love is that self-loving actions are almost always going to prioritize long-term gain over short-term enjoyment.
Well, who's next? Who's got something?
I do.
Angie, let's hear it.
I had to break down and know that when it comes to self love, I had to have that within me in order to love the people around me. And to actually, because when I didn't feel love from them, then, that was because I didn't love myself. And in order for me to be able to feel that love, then I definitely had to give it to myself. Like, Jade said, self care. It felt so hard to do that because I was always used to taking care of other people. And then, it makes a big difference when you can love yourself, because then you can love everybody else. And I love that song that I know it probably sent to all of y'all, but I mean, it's the truth. And it was hard for me for the longest time to be able to feel that when I very first got even clean, because I didn't feel worthy of it for myself or, of anybody else. But now I just don't give a fuck. I love standing in my truth. I am who I am. You get what you see. And I just tried to be there and do another human being as I wish that, to be done upon me, because I mean, we're all here to live, and regardless. And I love the fact, Daniel, that you was talking about the open-minded stuff, because I love learning. That's how you learn, is being open. And you can't learn with a closed off mind, no matter what you're closed off. I mean, and everybody has their beliefs, and it's about what makes your life better, makes you better, makes you a better person, makes you grow. That's
Yeah.
that's what's important. So everybody has their own beliefs, and it's a respectful. That kind of namaste, And the light in me sees the light in me, which it really means hi, hello. That's why people, but it is. It's just, I mean, we're soul to soul. That's where I'm. So
Yeah.
I love that. I forget the quote from that, I think it was like Plato's like mentor. I forget exactly, but he was like talking about like when you that what is it exactly, where like he knows nothing, but like like where like do you guys know what I'm talking about? Or like he's the smartest man in the room, and you know nothing because you always want to continue learning, and generally like
yes.
when you think you know it all, that's when you're going to get yourself in trouble. uh what about you, Jason? You want to chat or
Yeah, I'll chime in real quick. Kind of on the self care type thing. It just kind of made me think of this. But this earlier this week, I've been having the last couple weeks have been hectic at work. Um, we're a small team, and my one of my coworkers is out in the hospital, so I'm just doing his job. And I went into the office on Friday, and I got there like 7:30, parked, and I just sat in my car, and I needed a minute. Like my head's going a million miles an hour. I'm thinking about I've got all this shit with Halloween with little kids, and I've got that stuff going on, all the work stuff going on. And I just texted my boss and said, "Look, I'm here, but I'm gonna need a minute." But like in the past, I feel like I would have just bottled that shit up, went into work, gone about my day, and then just let that shit sit and linger, all the stress. But I'm like, no, I'm not doing that anymore, and fucking chill for a minute in silence in my car by myself before I go into work. And I never would have let myself do that before. But I needed it. I needed a break. Like I just needed to be alone in my car, not thinking about work, not doing anything. And I let myself do that, and I feel like that's something I never would have done 6 months ago. Never.
That's awesome. Some growth, Jason.
Yeah, I know that's something like crazy or big or outside the box, but it's like just to fucking take a break for a second was huge for me.
Yeah, somebody had mentioned the other day, I cannot remember where I heard it, but they were like, when you need a break, sometimes somebody's not going to give you a break. Or it was Amanda. Her husband told her, you've got to just take it. Nobody's going to give you a break. We got to take breaks sometimes, no matter what's going on. We got to just pause, kind of reset like you did. That's great. I need to apply that because those three
Mental health.
seconds that I get upset take me 3 hours to get over. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's what it was. It was like I needed, like I've got so much in my head. I could feel myself just starting to like I'm gonna get in a spiral, and I'm gonna be in my head all day unless I just sit here. I'm not going into work. I'm not gonna start my day. I'm just gonna sit for a minute because then I can be if I let myself get refocused, recentered, get all this shit out of my head, then I'll be productive all day and I'll be fine.
yeah.
But if I had gone in, I would have just that shit would have been festering all day in my head, and I can't. Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore.
When I was talking to Amanda, she told me like where I've had like some really bad things like popping up. Like I feel like the universe has really been trying me to test me and see if I'm going to fall back. And she said, sometimes just allowing yourself to sit there with the emotions and just letting it like an ocean wave through, like not really giving it too much thought or just kind of sitting there and feeling it. And I took her advice Friday, and I've actually been like having a hard time crying. Like, like certain times I can cry a little bit, but like I feel like that like wall finally came crumbling down. I was actually able to like sit there and just like cry for like a couple hours, and like it definitely felt nice. And I believe like the self-care, even just like the silence, being there with your emotions and just allowing yourself and with no judgment is really great too. I do have another slide just to like help us, to tie into, I'm not going to read them all. That's why I kind of did this, to help us to like release, from our old identity or releasing a fear of doubt, self-judgment. I released the old version of myself so that I've no longer grown, so we can like truly, start really loving ourselves as is. And then I can also like put that up into the groups and stuff. So like if anybody wants those as self. I release fear of being seen, so I am who I am. Closing, I release what isn't mine to carry. I know sometimes like feeling the weight of the world is very hard too.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also have one more. I love my affirmations. I am enough right now. Or real is better than perfect. I belong here as I am. I trust myself. I choose authenticity. I accept myself fully.
So, something that I believe that when you are close to a breakthrough or a major change, I believe that God tests you with the exact opposite of whatever it is you say you want to see like, because like really think about like what is like life is like a series of repeated lessons that until you learn these lessons, they're going to continue to be recycled back to you in different scenarios, right?
Right.
So I think I just wanted to add that.
I definitely believe that too. Like God has his ways of testing us and reminding us of make sure we stay on track and what we truly believe and want for ourselves.
You yourself, you can see, like, with your own growth chart, basically, and how much you have grown because you won't revert back to different things that you may have before. Sorry, Joe.
No, don't be sorry, not at all. All I was gonna say was that your misery can be refunded to you at any time,
Ooh, I like
So
that.
I mean, it's waiting. So like, and one more thing, I just want to just point out how amazing it is what you guys are doing. Like, I hope you guys, everyone in here recognizes like how incredible it is that you guys are doing this, like to better yourselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just take a moment to like realize like how cool this is, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like almost a little over 2 years ago, I was shooting dope in a tent. You know what I mean? And look what we're doing today. So,
And look, and you're an inspiration for us as well.
Yeah.
well,
So we
Yeah, I
got like
was
a
gonna
celebrity
tell
here
you,
right now.
Joe, I don't know. I mean, I haven't told you that much, but I'll tell you now. I'll tell you whatever. Now, we're all basically, we know Amanda very well. We all love Amanda, and
Yeah.
she's helped us out a lot. So when you hear us mention her, that's why. And, she has really helped us out. So anyhow, I wanted to let you know that you come from good stock, it seems like. So,
Yeah.
I am very happy you joined tonight. I think we need another,
Yeah.
as many powerful voices as we can get, man. That's what this is about. Is this what we're doing here with everybody? And like me and Jason, when we get together, like that is something to me that is like, because me and Jason are in Cincinnati, by the way, Joe. But when we've gotten together a couple times for lunch. But that to me, when we do that, that support that you feel, we've been in each other's shoes, and me and him specifically, we both dealt with alcohol issues. So it's like we can kind of come from the same, place
mhm.
with each other, and that's why our, just this discussion is really powerful. That's why we wanted to carry it on past what we do with Amanda there at Effect. So anyhow, Angel, I'm not sure what else you had going on, but
That was about it. I end with my affirmations.
yeah, that was great. I love those because it's like it gets us really thinking in that frame. And I'm gonna kind of just do this break here for like 4 minutes, just kind of to anchor the idea here we discussed, and then we'll move on to kind of the ending segment of this. If you're not familiar, this is kind of our format here. So.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware. think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and a carrying signs. Mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come and take you away. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop now. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop. Children, what's that sound? It's time for a change. I'm tired of this weight that's breaking my soul. Oh, living in a world that's out of control. The hate, the lies, the shame, all of this I face. Can't keep living this way.
All right, so we are back. This is essentially the what we call the purpose and motivation segment. Essentially, what this will turn into is an interview portion. And what I want to do is not only interview each other as part of the group, but I also want to use it to interview other people. Joe, hopefully, with our first one, and kind of show people what purpose and recovery looks like, which is what we'll be discussing next week. Is kind of purpose and what it looks like in recovery. Not to forget this week, and we didn't do this last week for the second week. But I did want to do this stupid word segment. I want to make it a thing. So I'm going to share with you my stupid word for the week, and with that, we'll move into to the final part of this. So here we go. Stupid word of the week is, if you can see that, pusillanimity. Pusillanimity. So it's the quality of being timid, fearful, or lacking courage or resolution. Yeah, lack of courage. So it's essentially like everything in recovery. So if we were to reject every other part of our life, um, and we were to follow the more courageous route, which is to find acceptance in ourselves, and not to look at others to value who we are, but to really just accept ourselves how we are, flaws and all, because it's those flaws that really connect us to one another. You know, that's the power in what we are doing and trying to spread this message of recovery. You know, um, it's trying to get people to understand that there is a way out of this and we can do it through this peer support connection. It's just friendship, people getting together, sharing their stories and their life and their vision, their purpose for what they're doing. And that's what this is about. That's what this part is, to try to inspire us to, to, to change our lives and to progress in some way to make the world a better place. Because I truly believe that our number one thing in life should be to leave the world a little better than we found it, and we do that by loving one another. And if you go back to the very most important rule that there is, that's love God, and whoever you believe that is, it's love God. But number two is to love your
Love your
neighbors.
neighbor.
Amen. And that's how we do it, is we connect with one another, and we can come together no matter what we believe, because we have a common goal and a common purpose in trying to help other people out of that dark pit that we were in at one point. And that's the idea behind our group, right? I keep talking about this, and I will until this group builds, because I see the power in what we do and helping one another. And I think if there was more of this in the world, we wouldn't have to worry about our children. They'd be perfectly fine. And if you don't have kids, you wouldn't have to worry about whatever your future is. Um, if the world was a better place. Here is a good quote that I picked up this week. I'm not sure who Byron Katie is, but it's not the problem that causes our suffering. It's our thinking about the problem. And it wasn't even like my it wasn't even the alcohol that was really the problem in my life, because there's a lot of people that can live their whole life and drink and function well. I wasn't one of those people. So for me, it destroyed everything. And this gave me my life back. So we should be sharing this. Each one of us now has a greater purpose for our lives, and that's to help others out of that hole. So we're gonna jump into the final discussion here, and then just to kind of pull everything together. Uh, be the change. That's what this is. We're doing that. That's what this is. Joe's already doing that. Angel, she's in peer support. She's got a job doing it. She just started. I've just got to take my test, and I'll be doing the peer support. We hope everybody pursues something. Jason, you're working with kids and the charity that you're a part of there. Jade, I know you have stuff going on too on your side. So it's like we all have something to offer here, and it's just really stepping up and doing it. But we got to connect with one another, and that isn't just this. That's getting from behind the phone. Again, if there's nothing else we ever got out of this, it's to get from behind the phone, get together, and start to connect with one another. Because listen, if they flip the switch, every bit of that goes away, every bit of connection, everything that you have. So we need to get together and start really kind of connecting our minds. And me and Jason are trying to be an example of that. And I hope Angie's gone, but I hope Angie, Angel, you guys aren't that far away. I hope you get together. I'm going to come up there and see Joe at some point. I want to get to know this guy better, even especially after tonight. Jade, I don't even know where you live, but we've got to all connect. That's what this is about. We're missing some people tonight. I know a lot of people said they were coming. They're not here, but that's cool. We're here, and we made the connection. We did all the important stuff. We're purposed for the week. Not that we can give up now, but it's kind of like we're setting our mind on this, rejecting these things that are killing us, and really accepting ourselves. So I bring that all together, and then we'll just throw it out there, and let's see what else we can get out of it. Let's just squeeze it a little further.
I got some
I
too.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You go first.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm super excited. What you were saying about I mentioned earlier I was getting ready to start my first term for a psychology major to become a chemical dependency counselor, but also I finally sent out that email to sign up for peer support classes to get my certification, yo. Super psyched.
what we
So-
want.
Go ahead, Joe.
I just want to say that similar to what Daniel was saying, like we are all, every one of us are uniquely qualified to help somebody that is in the situation that we come from. And there's just some things that you can't learn from a book. And I lean a lot on I'm in this process. I don't know what Daniel shared with you about me, but like I'm in the process right now of trying to understand what it is that I believe in so that I can be a good leader for my family. Because I believe if you're not anchored in truth, you're like a dandelion blown in the wind. So I really believe in that positive ripple effect. There's so much darkness in the world. I refuse to be a part of that. I'm going to be a part of the light wherever I go. And it's just, we were born for such a time as this. We have the ability to reach millions of people with a message. And that's never been, there's no other time in human history like this. So, Daniel, I believe in, dude, if you could see like the stuff that I built in the last couple of months, because I believe in what we're doing right now, dude. Just I don't know if you ever get moments where you're unsure about what you're doing, but look for the evidence. Confirmation bias. Our brains are wired to continually search for evidence that will support your beliefs. That's why what we say to ourselves is so important. Okay? What you're doing, there's evidence right in front of us. I'm here. Daniel, we're all here. Like, this is evidence that what you're doing is a real thing. So just take solace in that, because I believe in this. I believe in you. I believe in everything that you guys are trying to do. So yeah, thank you for having me.
That's everything this group is about, is us supporting one another and doing this. You know, it's really just about bringing together these minds, and I don't know how it worked out the way that it did.
Real
Yeah,
quick before we do
dude.
that, can I just throw something out there? And this
Heck
is a
yeah.
stupid quote, but Joseph, some of the stuff you were talking about reminded me of this quote. And if you ask God for peace,
You can say.
does he give you patience, or does he give you opportunities to be patient?
Absolutely.
If you pray to God to be courageous, does he make you courageous, or does he give you opportunities to be courageous?
Nice.
You know what I mean? So it's not like that. I don't know. That's just some of the stuff we were talking about reminded me of that, and I'm like, that's how I feel. Like we can't look. I'm not looking for a handout, but we got to look for opportunities to display the behaviors that we want to see in ourselves, and to show that courage, to show that patience, to show that love. We have to look for those opportunities. It's not just going to be given to you. Look for the opportunity to be courageous, to be bold, and I feel like I never would have done this stuff before, but now I'm looking at it that way, changing my perspective to be looking for the opportunity to be the person that I want to be, rather than just waiting for that to come to me. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, dude, that makes perfect sense. And I'm gonna leave that as the last words here. I'll see you guys here 7:15, same link.